Majority Report with Sam Cedar, where every day's Casual Friday. That means Monday is Casual Monday, Tuesday, Casual Tuesday, Wednesday, Casual Hump Day, Thursday, Casual Thurs, that's what we call it, and Friday, Casual Shabbat. The Majority Report with Sam Cedar.
It is Friday, May 15th, 2020. My name is Sam Cedar. This is the 5-time award-winning Majority Report. We are broadcasting live, steps and steps and steps from the industrially ravaged Gowanus Canal in the heartland of America, downtown Brooklyn, USA. It's Casual Friday, folks. Joining us on this Friday, executive editor of the American Prospect, David Dayen, will be here. Reporter from Mashable and host of Doomed and Majority Report producer emeritus Matt Binder will be joining us. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi forces the vote on the crappiest messaging bill ever. Donald Trump pushes for mass suicide as he loses support in the Rust Belt. And Alexander Burr steps down from the Intel Committee in the wake of the FBI investigation into his stock sales. Meanwhile, Kelly Loeffler is asked for documents about her stock sales. Senate reauthorizes expanded surveillance powers because it's not like Bill Barr will abuse them. And Mitch McConnell concedes there was an Obama administration pandemic plan, whatever. Amazon ends its $2 an extra bucks per hour for hazard pay because it was inhibiting Jeff Bezos from making more than $30 billion so far during the lockdown. It's only $500 million a day. Meanwhile, defying a court order, the EPA says we're not going to have limits to fetal and infant neurotoxin in rocket fuel being dumped into water. And lastly, the Texas Supreme Court says let debt collections and evictions resume. All this and more on today's Majority Report. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I don't know what my daughter has now just texted me and said, do you have music on? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But it's a madhouse here, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure it is in your home. And I certainly hope that it is in your home. Hold on. Now she's, I don't know. Mila, are you listening to the show? Is that what's going on?
That was your pre-show Limp Bizkit listening.
Yeah, I was listening to your show. Stop talk. Oh, Jesus. Don't use those language. Okay. She said I was S-talking her on her show. 14-year-old girl using that kind of language. There you go.
Rings true, though.
What rings true?
I agree with Mila.
All right. There you go. Matt's kissing Mila's ass. Well, I don't blame you because it's probably just a matter of days before she's hosting this thing, and I'm permanently retired. But be that as it may, we are here. It is Casual Friday. Welcome. I am wearing a soft-collared shirt. In fact, it is a new shirt that I purchased because I need some summer wear. And it's exceedingly hot in this closet. And so we're going to have to figure something out about that as well. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe. Of course, around the country, there are various states that are opening up, some by the decision of their governors, some by the decision of the Supreme Court in like Wisconsin, say, where they say it's it's going to be time for you to all go to the bars, and hopefully, avoid somehow from catching this disease that's going around that is killed over 80,000 of your fellow Americans. And there are hearings going on. It's been one of the complaints I have about Congress. We'll talk to David Day in a little bit about that, but there are hearings going on. This one is in the Senate. I think it was now 2 weeks ago, I had mentioned, or at the very least headlined, and maybe touched on, the director of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, which is a governmental agency tasked with developing vaccines and whatnot. Dr. Rick Bright is now the former director of BARDA. He was removed because he wouldn't get with the program when it came to hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine or whatever it is that Donald Trump was hawking as a miracle cure. Here he is testifying to the Senate committee saying that winter is coming and it's not going to be good.
Without could be the darkest winter in modern history. First and foremost, we need to be truthful with the American people. Americans deserve the truth. The truth must be based on science. We have the world's greatest scientists. Let us lead. Let us speak without fear of retribution. We must listen. Each of us can and must do our part now. On Tuesday, Dr. Fauci delivered a message in a voice that is clear and trustworthy as he encouraged us to act with caution as we return to our daily lives. We should listen to him and other scientists sharing their expertise. While waiting for a cure and a vaccine, which I believe will come, there are things we must do immediately. We must increase the public education about the basics: washing hands, social distancing, appropriate face covering. They're simple but critical steps to buy valuable time until there's vaccine. We need to ramp up production of essential equipment and supplies, including raw materials and critical components. Shortages of these increase the risk of our frontline healthcare workers, and they deserve the best equipment to protect themselves. We need to facilitate equitable distribution of essential equipment and supplies. And finally, we need a national testing strategy. The virus is here. It's everywhere. We need to be able to find it, isolate it, and stop it. We need to have the right testing for everyone who needs it. We need to be able to trace contacts, isolate, quarantine, and appropriately while striving to develop a cure. Initially, our nation was not as prepared as we should have been, as we could have been. Some scientists raised early warning signals that were overlooked, and pages from our pandemic playbook were ignored by some in leadership. There will be plenty of time to look back to assess what has happened so we can improve. But right now, we need to focus on getting things right going forward. We need a comprehensive plan that everyone knows and everyone participates in.
You know, what strikes me about this is the kind of testimony you would have expected to hear in February or January. Not after 2 months and 80,000 deaths to hear that we have no plans for anything regarding this. None. And to the extent that plans exist, and they certainly do, I mean, there's a 65-page pandemic playbook. There's, tens of pages of documents the CDC has put out in terms of guidelines and how to, all of it's being ignored. Consciously, purposely ignored. It's insanity. We've got a couple more clips of Dr. Bright. We'll play those later in the program. But it's nuts right now what we're seeing in terms of our failures in government, both in terms of like the executive branch and frankly, and we'll talk more with Dan about this, from the legislative branch, at least from a political standpoint and an oversight standpoint. But what can you do? I don't know. Meanwhile, Majority Report is made possible today in part by Skillshare. The first 500 people go to skl.sh/Majority Report 8 are going to get a free premium membership to Skillshare for 2 months, 2 whole months. I've talked about Skillshare many times. Online learning community offers thousands upon thousands of cases, almost any topic you can imagine. Drawing, painting, photography, video editing, web design, running a small business, playing the ukulele. In fact, I was saying to Matt before the show, I was like, I cannot get rid of this buzzing. I've got 2 different systems set up. I have done everything that everyone has suggested to me. I have switched computers. I have changed the power outlets that they're involved in. I have put those little magnet things on the cables that are going in. I have switched out my second mixer. I mean, I suppose I could switch out the main mixer, but I'm not going to do that. I've switched different cables. I've gone from stereo cable, whatever. I'm not going to go through all this. But then it occurs to me, like, I need to take some classes on audio engineering. And I went over to Skillshare just right before the show. I did this. And they have, I don't know, more than a dozen, maybe 2 dozen, more than that, 3 dozen, more than that. They've got hundreds. I don't know hundreds, but they've got a ton of classes that I can take on learning how to mix some audio and some basic understanding of this, which one would have expected I would have done after 15 years in this business. But what are you going to do? Anyways, I'm sure all of you can benefit from learning new skills, getting better at old skills. I don't know. The great thing about Skillshare, it's all like in bite-sized pieces too, little chapters, so you can take chapter 1 and chapter 2 and then come back to it later. All classes are, I think, under an hour, more or less. Membership to Skillshare costs less than $10, is $10 a month. Less than $10 a month. And it gives you access to their entire library classes. But the first 500 people who go to skl.sh/Majority Report 8 are going to get a free membership for 2 whole months. I put up the link under the YouTube description here, and I put it up on the podcast description as well. Meanwhile, also, you want to better yourself? You want to catch up on maybe some history books that you haven't read? I don't have the time to read. I've talked to you about this. There's a whole set of a category of books that I just want to get the main points of. And Blinkist is the app that allows me to do this. It takes the best key takeaways, all the need to know information. They do it from thousands of nonfiction books, how-to books, history books, political books, boils them down in just 15 minutes. So you can read them or you can listen to them on your phone. You can listen to them on your tablet, your web browser, whatever it is. You need to get the important takeaways from a book. You're busy because your kids are gone insane. You're locked inside here and you don't have time to actually sit down and get access to all this stuff. Blinkist is the way to do it. I've said many times my favorite one is the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. That was really helpful to me, and I would not have in a million years, with all due respect to Mr. Ferriss, read the entire book. Those books, there's a couple of books they have on how horrible Republicans are by Republicans. I checked that out. Everything Trump touches dies by Rick Wilson. Also, there's another one. Jared Diamond has some books about how societies fail, and I'm interested in looking at that. They've got Turning Points for Nations in Crisis by Jared Diamond. I interviewed him a long time ago, years ago on the Majority Report, but this is a good way to catch up on the latest book. With Blinkist, like I say, you get unlimited access to a massive library of these condensed nonfiction books. And for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer for just our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/Majority Report. You try it for free for 7 days. You save 25% off your new subscription. That's Blinkist, BLINKIST.com/Majority Report. Start your 7-day free trial. Save 25%. Sign up now at Blinkist.com/Majority Report. Again, that link will also be in our podcast description and YouTube description. And lastly, there would be nothing better now